Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and how I plan interesting flights. I'm going to walk you through a couple of tools that I use and some other cool stuff flight adjacent. So if you're here for flying, today's episode is not it. If you're here to learn how to plan a good flight, you're in the right place. Okay, let's start out here. earth.google.com. So if you don't want to install Google Earth, you just want to check out the globe as it is. This is where you go. So let's plot a flight to let's say Honolulu. Let's go to Honolulu. There we go. It has found it. It is dragging us in. Boom. Okay, so we have found Honolulu. I already knew right off the bat that this was going to be somewhere neat to fly. You can Google landmarks, whatever. It's Google, you know? So anyway, let's see. What is the main airport here? Daniel K. whatever. I'm not going to mispronounce that because I know that I will, and I will offend someone. But that seems to be the biggest main airport on this island. Looks like there are a few others, but let's start out here. So how do I find this airport's identifier? I can just Google it. Let's see about doing that now. There we go. We have found that airport. We have an identifier of HNL. We need to know that for Skyvector. Another one of the big tools that we're going to be using today. Very, very important note that this is a tool for real pilots planning real flights. Do not sign in. If you do sign in, do not save your flight plan. Just don't. That's a bad idea. Don't do it. But anyway, we found an airport that's got something neat. So, HNL. Can we find HNL? Honolulu. There is our airport right smack dab in the middle. So, once we found an airport, we can add that to our flight plan. When you add that to your right click and add that to your flight plan, it shows up as your departure because it's the first thing that we've clicked on. You can even see the international identifier, PHNL. Let's see, what do we want to check out on this island? Let's go back to Google Earth. Diamond Head State Monument, temporarily closed. That looks like a meteor impact. And that looks like something that might be really cool to fly past. So let's add that to our list of things that we want to fly next to. We'll go back to Skyvector. And usually, navigational aids such as landmarks show up on this VFR map. And if we look down at the bottom right, Diamond Head, there we go. There is that park. I can right click on that, and that's not an airport. So how do we plot that? We've got a couple of different options. We've got the nearest airport, we've got the nearest navigational aid, and we've got plan GPS node. So we are going to go heading 1097 nautical miles, and we'll be down at the middle of Diamond Head. So for flight plans, you have to have a takeoff and you have to have a land. And for a flight simulator, it does not at all like having a dangle. Like you have to end your flight plan at an airport. So if you're unfamiliar with the airports in the area, or you didn't see them right off the bat, and like the large international airport at Honolulu, you'll see them pop up here on icons like this. So each of these green dots that you see dotted across the map are weather stations. You can plot to a weather station, and usually weather stations are at airports. So yeah. So I can go to Diamond Head, then we can go fly past, let's see, Kanoe Bay. I know I butchered that, but we'll just roll with it. It's going to take us over some of the really cool mountainy stuff, or we could go around. It doesn't have to be linear, but got to set reasonable expectations. So we have a complete flight plan now. Yes, there are other things that we want to check out when we go to this island. I wouldn't mind flying past that wind farm. That would be neat. So the next part is, how do we get this flight plan that we've produced into Flight Simulator? Well, you come up here to your flight plan, you've got your new plan, you've got your open plan, you've got your save. Do not press this ever. I know it is tempting. It looks like, yes, I can just download it from here. No, you cannot. Do not click the save button. And then you've got the send plan to button. This is the one that you're going to be using the most, this and new plan. So we've got a couple of different options here. We've got destination apps, so some very common apps that pilots use to import flight plans to go fly stuff. That's not what we want. We've got FPL, that is a Garmin flight plan. We've got GPX, which I have no personal experience with. And then we've got send it to an email address. So we're just going to be using the .fpl. So let's download that FPL file. It's going to go down into our downloads. And then we're going to move into this tool. It is the Skyvector converter. So it will convert your flight plan from Skyvector to something that Flight Simulator X or Flight Simulator 2004 can consume. The file type and plan that works for Flight Simulator X works in Flight Simulator 2020. It's just something that I had to try. Okay, so let's download that. If you need the address, it is up here at the top. If you can't read that, let me know, and I will put that down in the description of the video. So let's go ahead and open up our download. And it is just the main exe in that zip file you download. Once again, very important note, do not use these tools for operational flight planning. What we're talking about today is specifically for simulators. Okay, acknowledge the message, and we've got our conversion tool. We're going to open that FPL that we just downloaded, and it's got all of the settings from Skyvector already included. I didn't change anything, so these will all be defaults. It's got our departure, our destination, and then this SV001, that is our GPS point. You can adjust your elevation, which runway you're on, everything for every part right through here. This has got a lot of other tools that may come in handy, but I don't use them. It's specifically for me to plot the course that I want to take, or very nearly that, and then bring it into the flight simulator. And this is all the functionality I need. Let's see. Let's call this Honolulu sightseeing. Good enough for me. And let's save it as a FSX file. Let's go ahead and save that. There we go. And we are done in that program. We don't need that anymore. Let's pull up Microsoft Flight Simulator and go to our world map from the home screen. So right now, no flight plan is loaded. It's using live flight conditions and everything. Let's hit that space bar, like you see down at the bottom, to load or save a flight plan. So let's load our flight plan. That's going to bring you into a folder that's not got what you need in it. Just go to your downloads folder, select the flight plan that we just created, open that, and it loads it. Okay, so there we go. It's only showing the first leg at the moment, but once you get in, it should actually even load this into the glass cockpit of the aircraft that you're flying, if the aircraft that you're flying has a glass cockpit. I just clicked on a different location on the map. If I want to add that, set that as arrival or departure, I can also add that. So yes, you can, in fact, edit these after you've imported. Like right here, we had VFR selected. We're now on IFR. So let's do the VFR direct to GPS. There we go. That's changed up our flight plan just a little bit, but you can adapt. We can change what aircraft we've got. We can change everything as normal, what you would expect from Flight Simulator. But the important bit was we've got our bits. We've got where we want to take off and where we want to land and the things that we want to sightsee. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this. If you got any questions, please leave it in the comments down below or reach out to me over on the Discord. Details for that incoming. Well, it looks like that's going to do it for us today, guys. I wanted to say thank you for hanging around this long. If you did and you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. Just so you don't miss out on any of the other cool stuff coming on down the road. If you'd like to hang out with us, please hit us up on Discord. Link is in the About section on the channel, or you can go to discord.wonsnot.com, and I will see you guys in the next one.